again. We'll be starting in just a minute here for you all at home. All right, I just got the official high sign, and that means it's time for us to stand up and sing. Here we go. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the the rain's new fall, sunlight from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where his feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, Eden saw play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day. Absolutely beautiful. Have a seat.
Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to see all the smiling faces and smiling eyes. What a beautiful day. And welcome to Unity, either Facebook or here, where the sun always shines. Let's begin with prayer. Take a deep breath and just relax. Sweet, loving Spirit and our healing God, we're so grateful to be up and around and make it to the church this morning to be with each other, so that we can spread our love, our healing affirmations, our learning, and our knowledge. And we're so grateful to have this opportunity to spend some time together. May we learn new things, and may we spread that love. And so it is. Amen. And please join me in our opening affirmation together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And we're welcome. Or do we have any new guests this morning?
I think we do.
Who do we see?
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
welcome back.
Okay. Second timers, it counts.
And we know when we have new guests that we always make them feel welcome. So thank you so much, and we're so grateful. And it's nice to see you.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is indeed. Well, let's sing some more, shall we?
Okay.
All right. We got to stand up for this one. All right. One light brings us all together. One light inside you and me. One light shines in every person that I see. It's the light that shines inside of me. Got it? That's the whole song. Here we go. One light brings us all together. One light inside you and me. One light shines in every person that I see. It's the light that shines inside of me. One light brings us all together. One light inside you and me. One light shines in every person that I see. It's the light that shines inside of me. It's the light that shines inside of me. Turn to someone and say, it's the light that shines inside of thee. All right, and have a seat. Oh, I have news for you. Okay, September 9th, that's next Thursday, this coming Thursday, is our Unity World Day of Prayer. All right, and this is happening all over the world. So here's the basic game plan. All right, on the 8th, Wednesday, is that right? Yes, Wednesday the 8th, we're going to gather at the Labyrinth, and we're going to say the briefest of prayers, and we're going to walk the labyrinth in silence and go home. To whatever degree you can, be in prayer all that evening and all night. All right? Don't talk, don't watch TV, just be in prayer. Now, the next day, we have a sign-up sheet, and I had to make it myself, so it's a little crude because my Excel chops are not that great. But there's one by the door, and you can sign up for 1 hour or 2 hour slots. You can do the whole day if you want. All right? And there will be someone here all day, either Ed or myself or both. All right? So pick a time that works for you. Put your name there. If there's already a name there, more than one person can be here, so you can sign up across the page as well. Does that make sense? Okay. Also, there's a notebook there, and on the day, you can write any impressions, any journaling thoughts, any further prayers that you would like to share, and then I'm going to pull those together, and I will share them in my talk on September 26th. Okay? It's going to be an incredible thing. Look at our website when you have a minute, because also during that day, on Thursday, there are, I believe, 4 live stream events from Unity Worldwide Ministries, and I think they're going to be pretty incredible too. All right? We are going to deepen our consciousness. We're going to change ourselves at depth that day. All right? And the final thing, on Thursday at 5:30, again, we're going to cut that last session a little short, and at 5:30, we will gather at the Labyrinth again. Fair enough? Okay. And September 12th, Reverend David Torres. September 19th, Reverend Angela Harmon. September 26th, our outdoor service at Meeks Park, followed by our annual picnic, right? Okay. Looking ahead, do you feel called to make the next step and join the church? We will offer our Unity 101 class on October 3rd, immediately after the service. And that is a required class if you wish to join the church. It also, I think, will be pretty interesting even if you already know a whole lot about Unity. You may still learn something new, or you may contribute something. The last time we did the class a few months ago, we had 10 people. some of whom were already members, and it was a great round-robin discussion. So it's not just going to be me talking to you, it's going to be all of us. Fair enough? The following week, our new members will be formally inducted into the church with certificates and everything. All righty, new class with Reverend Robin Volker, History of New Thought and Unity. That starts on October 12th. It's on Zoom. There's a flyer. It's on our website, and it's in the Mountain Spirit. All right, Thursday, October 14th at 6 p.m., Sing for Joy returns. This one is going to be a little different. We're going to be outside, and this is called Sacred Chants, Dance, and Rhythm. And there will be no lyrics on the screen, no nothing. We're just going to sing simple, easy chants that you can learn after one time through, and we're going to go deep with it. And we can dance too. Fair enough? All right, I think I'm going to rock on to the next thing here. There's lots more coming up, but it's a lot to digest right there. So follow the Mountain Spirit newsletter for all the news you can use. And if you go to our website, unitychurchofthemountains.org, right on the front page, there's a button where you can click to sign up to receive the Mountain Spirit newsletter. Fair enough? Fair enough. Okay, I'm going to sing a little bit. You guys are awfully quiet this morning. Okay, we'll take that.
We're attentive.
That's good. She said we're attentive. Yeah. It's going to be a little meditative today, a little extra meditative today at some points anyway, so like this right here. I see beauty before me. I see beauty behind me. I see beauty. I see beauty below me. I see beauty all around me. My words will be beautiful. Amen. Can you guys sing that with me? It's mostly one note. Before me, behind me, above me, below me, all around me. Want to try it? All right. I see beauty before me. I see. I see beauty above me. I see beauty below me. I see beauty all around me. My words will be beautiful. Amen. I see beauty above me. I should have stayed on the. Oh, now when you're laughing at me, you get a little energy going. I see. No. This is a warm-up for the chant evening where there won't be any words. This is the most complicated one, though. Before, behind, above, below, all around. Okay? Help me out. There's your note. I see beauty above me. I see beauty below me. I see beauty all around. My words will be beautiful. Amen. One more time, y'all. I see beauty before me. I see beauty behind me. I see beauty above me. I see beauty below me. I see beauty all around me. My words will be beautiful. Amen. Joy, will you join us? I see beauty before me. I see beauty behind me. I see beauty above me. I see beauty below me. I see beauty all around me. My words will be beautiful. Amen. Our prayer chaplain for today is Joy Ryder. Good morning, Joy.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Well, the prayer box is here, and if you have a prayer to put in it, it'll be with us and prayed over for 30 days. And after that, it goes to Unity Village, where they pray for 30 days. So, also now, if you have someone that you would like to pray for that isn't in the prayer box, you can speak it out loud, or you can say it to yourself, whichever feels right to you. Let us pray. Thank you for the opportunity, Father, Mother, God, to be of service. To be of service in the form of prayer, in holding the light and sacred space for challenges that all of us have now and again. And to see hope and light at the end of the proverbial tunnel that we sometimes get into. Thank you, Father, Mother, God, for this day and this opportunity to be of service to you. Amen. I've been reading this daily word ever since I found out that I would be reading it today. Throughout, trying to get inspired by balance. It's not one of my favorites. It's not exciting. It's not even sexy to me. If I wasn't up here reading this, I would be reading through it fast. I have been reading the daily word for 50 years. And usually I wasn't going to say this, but in Bokeelia, I have a little stool in front of the commode, and that's when one of the inspirational books are. So as I'm letting go of things, I'm taking in good things. I wasn't going to tell you that, but I just did. It just seemed to be the right thing to say. Anyhow, because that's really true. My husband, his mother sent us the daily word, and so that's where he had it, and so that's where we read it. Source, separately. Because we only had one of those. Oh, okay. So it's balance. Balance, my most unfavorite word, because it's probably one of my most challenging things. Because I like to feel good and I like to feel high. And I'm happy when I'm painting, for example, because I get lost in the spirit of things and I just go with the flow and I feel heaven on earthly in the process of that. And when I finish a painting, I have an idea for the next one, but it takes me a little while to get into it. So in the process of coming down off of that joyful heaven on earth experience, I have to figure out how am I going to get my balance in life, just living, So this is a challenging word for me. And I'm not a Libra, which is, that's all about balance too. So with God, I live a life in balance. Work can be a fulfilling use of my talents and efforts. I may enjoy the challenge of growing in responsibility and using my ambition to accomplish great things. Okay. But if I work too much for too long, my energy might start to wane and my thinking become dull and uninspired. When I'm painting, that doesn't happen. When I'm painting, if I think I'm finished, and I'm not, Spirit will tell me something else to do. It's really cool. It's a unique experience. So, likewise, too much leisure time may rob me of motivation and pull me into a spiral of inactivity. How many have had that happen? I can have that happen too. Except Sophie doesn't like me to. She'll get me going. She wants to go out in nature, and that'll get me back balanced. I'll go sit in the chair with a little mountain waterfall stream coming at me, and it springs and goes both sides. So I've got a symphony of water going down these little rocks. It's so cool. And in front of me, I have a beautiful little stream. So I'm back in balance again. So while I'm telling you mine, you are probably thinking of your ways of getting balanced, rebalancing yourself. Because we are human, we have all these feelings. We have all these experiences. Spiritual practices bring precious balance into my life, that's for sure. That's for sure. Through prayer, I touch eternity and feel the presence of God within. How many people say mantras? Anybody? Mantras? God, I love mantras. I love mantras. Through meditation, I focus my mind and feel calm and grounded. Through speaking affirmations, we do affirmations. We all do affirmations, don't we? Unity is an affirmation city. Consciousness. It's amazing and it's awesome. I love that. That's probably one of the first things that really got me about the daily word and unity. Really got me going. I claim divine ideas and I act on inspiration. That still small voice within. Inspiration in spirit manifesting. In gratitude, I find balance in God, the one presence and the one power in my life. The verse is from Job 31:6. Let you balance and let God know my integrity.
Thank you, Joy. Open my eyes that I may see glimpses of truth thou hast for me. Place in my hands a wonderful key that shall unlock and set me free. Silently now I wait for thee. Ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my eyes, illumine me, Spirit divine, and open my ears that I may hear voices of truth thou sendest clear. And while the wave notes fall on my ear, everything false will disappear. Silently now I wait for thee. Ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my ears, illumine me, Spirit divine. Open my mouth that I may bear gladly the warm truth everywhere. Open my heart and let me prepare love with thy children thus to share. Silently now I wait for thee. Ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my heart, illumine me, Spirit divine. as you sit quietly and prepare to become even more quiet, if you're comfortable with this, put your feet on the floor, put your hands in an attitude of prayer. Could be like this, could be like that. It's however you feel about it. Today, we are all about vision, seeing higher, moving higher, being higher. And so that song says it very clearly, doesn't it? Open my eyes that I may see. And so just take that into your heart and pray that simple phrase right now. Open my eyes that I may see. And the second verse says, open my ears that I might hear. Can you take that into your heart now and pray that prayer silently? And the third verse says, open my mouth that I might bear gladly the warm truth everywhere. Open my mouth that I might bear gladly the warm truth everywhere. Can you feel your eyes opening up to a greater truth now? Can you decide to do that? And can you feel your ears opening up to hear the truth? Can you make a conscious decision that you will do that you will listen? And can you share that truth with the words of your mouth, that love, that light unto the whole world? To see it, to hear it, to believe it, to be it, and to share it. And the key is in the chorus of the song. Do you remember this part? Silently now I wait for thee. Silently now I wait for thee. We're going to sit for 1 minute in silence. I see the good in you, and you see the good in me. And we see the good in we, it's a beautiful way to see and be. I see the love in you, and you see the love in me. We see the good in we, it's a beautiful way to see and be. Namaste day. Because the kingdom of heaven is like unto a child. The kingdom of heaven is like unto a child. The kingdom of heaven, like unto a child. I am that child. You are that child. I see the light in you, and you see the light in me. We see the light in we. It's a beautiful way to see. It's a Namaste day. Because the kingdom of heaven, sing with me, is like unto a child. The kingdom of heaven is like unto a child. The kingdom of heaven is like unto a child. I am that child. You are that child. Because the kingdom of heaven is like unto a child. The kingdom of heaven is like unto a child. The kingdom of heaven is like unto a child. I am that child. You are that child. Turn to someone and say, I see the good in you. Turn to someone and say, I see the love in you. Turn to someone and say, I salute the divinity in you. I like that, and say, I see the light in you. You see the light in me. I see the light in you. You see the light in me. Well, that felt pretty good. I just returned from the Unity Ministers of the Mid-Atlantic States annual conference and retreat at the Canoga Retreat Center in Hendersonville, North Carolina. That was a mighty sentence, wasn't it? Okay. It was a mighty experience. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I had a bird's eye view because my role there was cruise director. The cruise director is basically what Charlotte did this morning. You do that for the whole week. All right. And it was an absolute blast. And I didn't have a clipboard, but I had my iPad. And so I had a bird's eye view of everything. And my eyes were opened, my ears were open, sometimes my mouth was open, a fair amount actually. It was a mystical experience. It was a mountaintop experience. And I learned and I saw that all of us see further when we are standing on the shoulders of giants. Do you know that quote? Who said that? Isaac Newton, I think. He said, if I have seen farther or further, farther or further? English teachers, help me out here. If I have seen farther, it's because I have stood on the shoulders of giants. Well, that's a pretty incredible thing. And this experience made me feel that I was doing just that. And it opened the eyes of my heart. It opened my vision. It expanded my vision. And it challenged me to expand my view of who I am and what I'm here to do, which is not a bad thing to happen over the course of 5 days. All right? Now, I knew a month ago that my talk today would be about vision. It was mostly complete before I left for the retreat, but I was also completely prepared to let most of it go if I was indeed awakened by what I experienced there, and I was, and so I am just going to tell you about it. Fair enough? I'm just going to give you a blow-by-blow color commentary and the whole bit and try to express some of what I felt as what you might call aha moments. Have you ever had an aha moment? Usually there's an exclamation point with that if it's a really good one. The common thread was that most of the things I experienced and that I'm going to share with you expanded my vision. They opened my eyes. All right? So let me set the scene for you. Canuga is a retreat center. It's owned by the Episcopal Church. They were very, very welcoming to us. Now, imagine I stayed in a rustic cabin by the lake. The AC didn't really work, but I opened the windows and the breeze was cool. It was great. All right? At 7 a.m. every day, there was Tai Chi by the lake or morning meditation in this beautiful old chapel. And breakfast, lunch, and dinner were in a communal dining hall, and right before that, you would hear, right? It was a bugle call, all right? And at various points during the day, there was yoga and labyrinth walks and canoeing. My wife Paula said, well, hey, that sounds like summer camp for adults. I'm going next time. It did kind of feel like that a little bit. So can I just kind of tell you about how it felt, the events during the course of the week? All right, Monday, August 31st. Now, this day was for the ministers only. We arrived in the early afternoon, we checked in, and we did heart check. And there were, I think, about 25 ministers, maybe 85 participants in total, which is down a little bit from where it's been in past years. That will change. And so we had a wonderful evening together of sharing. And have you ever done a heart check? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's a group of people who sit in a circle, and each in turn, with total confidentiality and total attention from all the other people, shares something happy, something sad, something scary, something exuberant that is happening in your life at the moment. And it's an incredibly powerful thing. And after each person goes, everyone else gives them a little blessing. Maybe sometime we'll just spend the whole service doing heart check. I'll get the timer out. Okay, so that was a pretty incredible thing. Now, that was the first evening. The next morning, the guests still had not arrived, and this was still for the ministers. And Reverend Jim Rosemergy, do you remember him from when he was here? Oh boy, he is who I want to be when I grow up. And he shared some things. Well, I'll just start with this. It was a question and answer session in one sense, but mainly it was that he posed a question and then he shared what he thought was the answer. Here's a question for you. What is the future of the church? Think about it. What is the future of the Unity Church? It's a big question, isn't it? And none of us truly know the answer. But we're all thinking about it. Where are we going to be in a week or a year or 5 years? What is the future of the church? Well, we kicked that around a little bit, and he said, well, that's actually not the relevant question. The real question is, how can we help people not hurt so much? And when we can answer that, we'll know what the future of the church looks like. I thought the top of my head was going to come off. I don't know if it hit you quite like that, but that was a new thought to me. How can we help people not hurt so much? You know, the building is important, and we can make vision statements, and that's important. That's all good, and we really need to do that. We need to think about all of what we do and why we do it and why we're here, but it won't mean anything if we don't have a clear vision of what we, Unity Church of the Mountains and all other churches, can do to help people not hurt so much. Is that a worthy thing to do in your life, in your individual life, and us as a community, the people right here in this room, the people who are watching from home right now? What can we do to help people not hurt so much? Because people hurt. We have always hurt, and sometimes in Unity we tend to kind of gloss over it. We do what we call spiritual bypassing. You know, instead of acknowledging a hurt, we offer a few words of positive thinking and let it go. Okay, this is one area that we need to look at together. This is one area where we need to really climb the mountain. Does that make sense? Because when I heard that and when I sat in that session, I had a vision of us uplifting the world. Literally uplifting the world. Okay? So, there was an aha moment. There was an opening of the eyes. Later that afternoon, the rest of the guests arrived. They checked in. The leadership team began preparing for the big evening event. A lot of last-minute stuff to do, sound check and all that business. Well, the evening event on opening night was a welcome celebration with Reverend Darlene Strickland and what she called the Blue Ridge Band and Diversity Speakers Spirit Soaking. You okay? All right. The Unity Church of the Blue Ridge in Asheville is led by Reverend Darlene Strickland. They have about 300 members right now, and it's a far more diverse church than ours is, and that is very intentional on their part. They have literally gone out of their way to find voices and experiences that are different than say, Darlene's. All right? And so the spirit soaking was a kind of a hybrid of a concert, a bunch of meditations, people telling their stories, a couple of little messages, and it was all woven into one thing. And some of it was really high energy because they have a rockin' band. I mean, they have a rocking band and a couple of really dynamic singers. And in addition to that, they had 3 speakers besides Reverend Darlene. And they did kind of run the gamut diversity-wise. One of them in particular really touched my heart so much, and part of it was the story itself, and part of it was how it opened my eyes to seeing something that I hadn't seen before. Now, this particular woman is a Native American. She came out of horrendous poverty. She came out of a home that included a fair amount of abuse in various forms. She experienced alcoholism and survived it. And there's much, much, much more. And I realized that her experience of life, the way she sees life, is so different. Little boy Mike, who grew up in South Florida, okay? And so I saw that she, in some ways, has come to the same place that I am, now, trying to open her eyes, trying to serve, and trying to help people not hurt so much. And so I saw something new there. And it made me want to sing this song to you, so I'm just going to... I'm going to do like Darlene with these spirit shows, spirit soaking. Now, isn't that a cool idea? Some talking, some singing. And this is what I felt when I listened to this woman speak. See me beautiful, look for the best in me. It's what I really am, and all I want to be. It may take some time, it may be hard to find, but see me beautiful. Now turn that around. I will see you beautiful each and every day. I will take a chance and I will find a way to see you shining through in everything you do, and see you beautiful. No matter what, no matter where you came from, I see you beautiful. Will you see me beautiful? Look in my eyes right now. Will you see me beautiful? And I'm looking in your eyes. I'm all around the room. I see you beautiful. Only beautiful. No judgment. Not even an observation. Just pure beauty, because that's who you are. Let's sit in the silence again for 1 minute. I got the timer. I'll see you in a minute. And so everyone left that room about 3 feet off the ground. Can you see it? All right. And we went back to that old chapel for Vespers and then said good night. Now, Wednesday morning, Reverend Jim, again, this was a keynote for the entire gathering. I'll call it the congregation because it did feel like a congregation. And his title was From Wandering to Wondering, From Seeking to Seeing, and From Affirming to Waiting. Now, would you be surprised to hear that once again he said some things that opened my eyes? Yeah. Here's one. It's a question. And I'll pose the question to you. Who in this room wants this $20 bill? Raise your hand. What did I miss? Well, question. Why didn't you all raise your hands right away? Who? Now, okay, I have still in my wallet, I have a 1. I'd be happy to. Who in this room wants a $1 bill? All right, come on. Come on up. I'm not walking back there. Come on. I guess I am walking back there. Spend it all in one place. Okay. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Why didn't you all raise your hands just like that? Don't you deserve to be prosperous? Don't you deserve to be wealthy? Don't you deserve to be shared with and to share?
I think I have enough.
Okay. You, okay, well, you're jumping ahead of me because that's kind of where I was going with this. The question is, who actually manifested $20 just now? Who manifested $1 just now? We both did. I did too. I did too because in freely and sharely the presence, sharing that money, I basically created a vacuum, and the universe is going to rush in and fill that vacuum. There's no doubt in my mind. And that's not why I did it. It's not why I did it, but that is how the law works. And so when we talk about prosperity, what we're really talking about is generosity and knowing that the Spirit moves in an upward spiral. Now, Jesus said in Matthew 6:33, "But seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and all these things will be given unto you as well." Do you know this verse? You can actually say it with me. Seek ye first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given unto you as well. Now, Jim's talk was not really about prosperity that day. It was about opening your eyes, opening your consciousness, seeking higher. Manifestation, finding $20, giving $20 is none of my business. The consciousness of seeking the kingdom is my business. If I start with that, everything else will work just fine. And I will have enough, and I do have enough, and I never doubt it for a minute. I know that I do. So with that, he kind of looped back to the early question about what we can do to help people not hurt so much. Well, what is the hurt that we're talking about here? There's always been hurt. You constantly are hearing people say, well, we're so divided. We're more divided than we've ever been. No, not at all. Think about the Civil War. Think about the Civil Rights Movement. I mean, there have been any number of times, and yet it does feel a little different this time, doesn't it? Why do you think that is? It's the internet. It amplifies everything. The internet is the greatest thing that ever happened, and it's the worst thing that ever happened. And I don't know the final answer on that, but I do know that a lot of people right now feel a sense of loss and fear of loss because we're seeing that the world is not really what we thought it was. You see, some churches talk about original sin as being Adam and Eve. They ate the apple, you know. Here's another take on that. The original sin, and it's still with us to this day, is a sense of separation. Actually, if you think about it, that's kind of what the Adam and Eve story says too, isn't it? It's a sense of separation, and pretty much everything, all the ills of the world for lo these millions of years comes from that in one way or another. That's our $20. You're not separate from me. Now, we in Unity are gradually working our way out of that predicament, and it's because we have learned to pray in a different way. We have gone from prayers of petition and beseeching to prayers of affirmation. However, and here again, Jim Rosemergy said my head off. He said there's a third step that we haven't gotten to yet, and that is prayers of waiting. From prayers of petition to prayers of affirmation to prayers of waiting. Back to meditation, okay? Close your eyes and envision this with me. You're out for a hike, and you make your way to a point that we'll call a high meadow. It's kind of a flat land, it's grassy, it's beautiful. And off in the distance, you see a magnificent mountain, and it's shrouded in mist. It's shrouded in mist, but you can make out the outlines. You'd like to go there, but there doesn't seem to be a path that you can see. And so you rest, and you wait. And as you wait in the meadow, a figure approaches. It's a beautiful, serene, wise woman. Her name is Grace, and she offers to lead you to the distant mountain. You see, prayers and affirmations will bring us as far as the high meadow. If we're willing to go beyond that and simply wait, grace will lead us to the distant mountain. From wandering to wondering, from seeking to seeing, from affirming to waiting. Grace will lead us to God. Grace will lead us to God. Okay, wake up and let me, oh boy, I've been talking a long time here. I'm going to zoom through the rest of it, okay, because I know y'all are hungry. All right, the next day, a couple of really cool things happened. First of all, we had Jeff and Lori Holland from Greenville shared their Sonic Energy Tour. These two, they're a married couple. They're delightful young people. They're in their, I think their 30s maybe. And they had more percussion instruments. It took a truck to get them there. They would fill this platform and overflow into the sanctuary. It's gongs and drums, and that you can hear the sound of the forest, and I can't begin to describe it, but it was just an incredible experience. Would you like to experience that? Oh, good, because I booked them to come here in the spring. All right. Okay, more about that later. There was more Rim Joe. Wow, I am just on a Rim Joesmergy. They call that balking tackwards in Florida. I don't know about here. All right, Reverend Jim held forth some more, and it also blew my mind, but I don't have time. Stowe Good concert. Do you know Stowe Good? They are a musical duo. Quite happening. We'll get them here sometime too. There were no Vespers that night because Jeff and Lori, the drum people, led a facilitated interactive rhythm experience, aka FIRE. It was basically a drum circle on steroids out on this big pier by the lake. That was pretty incredible too. All right, I'm rocking on. I'm going to come to the end here. Thursday morning, the CEO of Unity Worldwide Ministries Reverend Shad Groverland spoke. He's 35 years old, and he's the CEO of Unity Worldwide Ministries. He is young, he is bright, he is full of ideas. He has already offended some people because he's edgy and he's audacious and he's saying some stuff that needs to be said, okay? So I'm all for him. I didn't agree with everything he said, but I'm all for him. You see what I'm saying there? Because he opened my eyes about a couple of things too. I'm going to just zoom through a couple of the high points. First of all, just news. Unity Worldwide Ministries is certifying counselors now. We are in good shape financially. They are creating a scholarship fund to help churches build youth programs. Shall we get on board with that? Yeah. They're offering a technology course in March of next year. We're going to get on board with that. He feels, he's 35 years old, and he feels that the Fillmores were cutting edge not only for their time, but for our time now. And we do not need to throw out the baby with the bathwater, even as we explore forward, because in some ways they were farther ahead then than we are now. Can we do any less? Okay? That was actually one that made a couple of people in the room go, well, I don't know about this guy. But mostly people were weeping at this point. It's like he's saying stuff that needed to get said. How about this? Imagine that you were starting a spiritual community from scratch. What would you keep? What would you lose? What would you do differently than you've ever done before? It would be different than what we have now. It's worth thinking about, isn't it? He is audacious. Oh, he thinks that younger people are more interested in authenticity than style. Okay? I think that's true. Right on. Okay. Say again what you said. Loud, clear voice. Especially us, right? Okay. It's totally true. It's totally true. Exactly. We got to make it real, y'all. All right. Final thought from Shad, and actually he shared this. I had lunch with him. I did. I don't know why, but I got a call from his assistant, Reverend Diana Kennedy, saying Shad would like to have lunch with you tomorrow. So we sat and talked. Maybe there was some intention behind that, or maybe he just wanted to hear a different voice that he hadn't heard before. Here's one of the things he said to me at lunch. He thinks that Unity is the church of the future. Going back to what we said, what does the church of the future look like? He thinks that Unity is the church of the future, and I agree with this. Why does he think that? Why did he say that? Why do I think that? Well, here's why. It connects back to what Jim Rosemergy said on day one. Do you remember what he said? He said, when we think about our vision for the future of the church, the relevant question, the real question, the crucial question is, say it with me, how can we help people not hurt so much? And when we can answer that, we'll know what the future of the church looks like. Why is Unity so uniquely poised to be that church? I'll tell you why. Because every problem is a consciousness problem. And every solution is a consciousness solution. I'm getting God bumps on my God bumps. Every problem is a consciousness problem, and every solution is a consciousness solution. Is there a religious movement anywhere in the world that offers consciousness as the answer? Sure there is. Sure there is. I was going to say let's sit in silence for another minute, but we've had enough of that, and we're getting on. Oh, concerts. Lots of concerts, lots of workshops, lots of yoga, spirit sharing. Spirit sharing is just a big old talent show. You can sign up and you can do whatever you want. Here's my thought. I'm going to propose to the leadership team that next year we have a Sing for Joy, right? Would you all go for that? Okay, good. This is where we're going to be. We're going to be at Lake Junaluska, North Carolina. It's near Waynesville, which is not very far from here. Hey, we'll get a bus. Is that possible? Okay. It is done. All right, I think we're just going to wrap it up. It was fun. It was stimulating. It was encouraging. It opened my eyes that I might see. And I am ready to wait on God and to move my feet. How about you? I see you. I love you. I bless you. I see the light in you. And I feel like this is a good time to sing a little song. Oh, and there it is. That's not the best sound for that. That is. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Another question. Hide it under a bushel? I'm gonna let it shine. Am I gonna hide it under a bushel? I'm gonna let it shine. Am I going to hide it under a bushel? I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. One more time, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Are we going to do that, y'all? Are we going to let the light shine? Are we going to lift up that bushel and throw it away and open up that candle to the whole world? Because here's one more thing Jim said. You are the wick in God's candle. Okay. You are the wick in God's candle. Yeah. There was a lot of wow this week. There was a lot of wow this week. All right. So this is the time in our service when we gratefully, with open eyes, open ears, and open mouths, receive our tithes, our offerings, our love gifts. And you know, it's all God. It's all good. As you give, you shall receive. But the important thing is to remember to seek first the kingdom of God. And all these things will be added unto you. Make sense? Need I say more? No. Let's say our offering affirmation together. You ready? Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. Wonderful. Charlotte, will you join us, please?
Please join me in our healing affirmative prayer. May my mind know that it cannot be limited. May my heart know it cannot be separate. May I know only wholeness of being and claim nothing less than the fullness of life. And as we go our separate ways this afternoon, no, morning, still. Getting
Just
old.
barely.
Let's close our outer eyes and go into our heart space and remember some of the lessons that we learned today and some new ideas that we could probably bring together and create and grow our church and create and grow our community. And I was reminded that in our beauty of our locality here, there isn't such pretty places in the rest of the world. And we need to visualize the changes that need to be made so that everyone is safe, everyone is healthy, everyone is in a good place. And so it is. Amen. Ooh, let's sing.
Before we do, there is one small piece that survived from my original talk. It's brief. It's brief. And Charlotte, I'm really glad you mentioned vision and envisioning a better world. This is a vision statement for our church home. Will you say it with me? I'll give you a piece at a time. We envision a church building and campus that meet our needs now and into the future. Our church home is a center of love, radiating light, and uplifting the world. And so it is. Let's stand and sing. Can you radiate that out into the world right now, just from your very fingertips? That was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you all. Keep your eyes open. Drive carefully. Here we go.